Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Anachrony, and I will be using the Pioneers of New Earth module from the Classic expansion. Let's get rolling. So I am all set up to play a solo game of Anachrony featuring the Pioneers of New Earth module. I am, of course, again using the alternate timeline module, the variable anomalies, and the neutronide buildings. Those are all included, and I am playing as the Path of Progress. But my biggest regret from the previous playthrough video when I used the Doomsday module was just that I didn't interact with it enough. So I'm really going to try and make an effort to interact with this Pioneers of New Earth module on this adventure board specifically as much as I can. So I'm gonna try really hard for that. You can see I've included up there the scoring criteria card for Pioneers of New Earth. So 6, 9, or 12 successful adventure cards for me will equate to 1, 2, or 4 victory points. And then I randomly drew one for leftover water at the end. So 1, 2, and 4 points respectively for 8, 12, and 18 leftover water. And then the 1, 2, and 4 victory point thresholds for the third card are for breakthroughs. That's 3, 6, and 9 breakthroughs at the end. So I am playing as the Path of Progress on the asymmetrical side. So there's a handful of differences, but the really important ones are these 3 exosuit slots can be powered up with either an energy core or one of any standard resource. So there's a little flexibility there. And I need 4 paradox tokens to gain an anomaly instead of 3. But then some of the drawbacks are these first 3 spaces here on the time travel track are worth fewer victory points. I need an extra gold here and an extra uranium here to build those buildings. This part of the morale track's a little bit different, but I also forgot, if I use a scientist to take any action in the power plant, factory, or lab spaces, then that scientist comes back motivated. So that's super cool. And my evacuation condition is to have 3 labs. That'll get me 6 victory points, and then 4 victory points for every 2 scientists and 1 breakthrough tile I have. So I'm really going to be pushing for breakthroughs. And so my leader is going to be Librarian Cornella, and her ability is during the cleanup phase, I can spend 3 water to take a breakthrough action. Then I've already sort of done the preparation for the first era. In Era 1, the super project is Secret Societies, which I think was a promo super project, but when I move any 3 of the same worker type from the tired to motivated column, I gain their recruit bonus 1 time if I were to have that super project. And then for Era 2, it's temporal tourism. So as a free action, time travel back up to 3 eras. And as part of my setup, I gain 1 breakthrough. And during setup, that is a random breakthrough. So I'm just going to roll these 2 breakthrough dice to determine what breakthrough I start with. Triangle Society. So I've got one of those. Cool. I'm just going to keep all the dice here where I can reach them. And then I do start with 1 extra water because I am the second player. Chronosis goes first. I see we do have a neutronide building on top of this factory stack right now. And then for the Pioneers of New Earth module for the setup, I'm just using the A side of all of these action tiles, the A side of this tile here. If Chronosis gains any victory point tokens here, they do not actually count as victory points. So I think that's it. I think we can get going in the first era, and preparation phase is already done, and we don't need to do the paradox phase. So we go right to the power up phase, and first player is Chronosis, so they'll power up first. We're pre-impact, so they start with 3 suits, which I've already got out, and then I've got my draw bag here. I'll draw 3 tokens out of the bag. I've mentioned it before, I'd like to make some 3D printed upgrades and like some better, some like custom bags for this action, and I'm going. Actually, when this video comes out, I'll be out of town with my friends who co-own the Etsy store with me, and we're going to be doing like a retreat to try and knock out a bunch of new items, and this is a priority for me. I'd like to get some Anachrony items, but let's see. We've got an exhausted energy core, a second exhausted energy core, and 1 powered up core. So 1 exhausted core goes back in the bag. These 2 get discarded. And Chronosis powers up one more suit. So now it's my turn to do power up. I definitely would like these 3 free ones. Let's power those up. These are pretty cool suits. And I think I'll just stick with the 3 suits for this first era. So I gain 3 water now. And now we go to the warp phase. So I need to determine what, if anything, I'm going to warp in. These first few eras don't look great. So I know Chronosis goes first. The only way I'll get any sort of benefit is if we both put 2 warp tiles down, but I would also gain a paradox by doing that. I think I'm just going to put 1 warp token and assume Chronosis will probably put 1 as well, and neither of us will get any sort of benefit. So then the question is just, what token do I want? And I think I'll take an engineer because I've got 1 of those, but they are tired. So now we're going to roll and see how many warp tokens Chronosis is going to place. 1, okay. So Chronosis places first. And I place second. And I have to spend 1 water for that one. And I gain 1 motivated engineer. So now we go to action rounds. And Chronosis is first. So we're going to roll this die. 4. So Chronosis is going to construct a factory. These are both worth 1 victory point, so they'll take the one from the secondary stack. There's your factory, advance the token, and now it is my turn. And I'm going to take this engineer and go to the mines. And I'm going to go here and grab a uranium and a gold. And Chronosis goes now. 3. So another construct action. Chronosis is going here and would like to construct a life support. So these are actually the same tile. They're both worth 2 victory points. Again, they'll take from the secondary stack then. That goes there. We advance the token and back to me. And I'm going to send an administrator to go recruit. And I'm going to recruit the genius. And I will gain 2 water. And now Chronosis gets to go again. 3. That is a time travel action. So Chronosis doesn't have any warp tiles to remove. So they gain 1 victory point and advance the token for the failed action. And now it's to me. And I'm going to use this genius. And I will go here and take the first player spot. So that's going to cost me 2 water. And I'm going to construct a life support. So that's going to cost 1 uranium and only 1 titanium because I sent a genius. So I take the life support on top of the stack. And that goes there. And now I get to swap out the banner because I am the first player. There you go. That's always nice to see. Back to Chronosis. A 4. So they're going to gain a power core. So just take one of these cardboard ones, put it back in the bag. Now we advance the 4 token, and I get to go again, and I am going to send a scientist here, and I could place any resource in one of those empty slots, and I will place a gold right there. So now I have 3 exosuit power for the rest of the game. That gold is spent, and now Chronosis goes again. 5. So that is a recruit action. So they're going to recruit the engineer. There we go. They don't gain the energy core, but they do get 1 victory point. Okay, back to me again. And I'm going to take this scientist and go to this action spot now. I have to spend a water, but I can place a breakthrough here and gain 2 victory points. So I'll put my victory points down here. Okay, back to Chronosis. 3. Okay, so this is an adventure action. So the first thing they're going to do is take their suit and place it on this hex pool space. And now they place their path marker here. So they're going to gain 2 power plus whatever power they have here, which is another 2. So they're at 4 power. So 4 is less than 9. So they're going to draw the top 2 cards from the 5+ stack. All right. And the first one requires 5 power and the second requires 6. So now they roll the adventure die. 4. So 2 and 4 and 4, that makes 8. So they will take the card, the highest one that they meet the requirement for. So that's going to be the 6. Chronosis gains this adventure card. This one goes to the bottom of that stack. And now the Chronosis gains everything from the left side that it can, so 1 victory point to start off with. And then every 2 water, rounding up, is another victory point. So that's going to be another 3 victory points. So let's take 2 of these away and replace with a 5. And then this just goes off to the side. Doesn't interact with this at all for the rest of the game. We'll put it face down like that, but it did earn that card. And the second part of this action is now the Chronosis wants to do a power upgrade here. So all of these slots are open, but it doesn't have any resources to place. So instead it's going to place 1 VP token here, and that is not a victory point at the end of the game, but it is worth 2 more power. So now Chronosis has 2 plus 2 power on its board there. And now we can advance that token, and it's my turn again. And I will place this Administrator on this life support building and gain 5 water. There we go. Neat. Back to Chronosis. Rolled a 2, and that is a construct action. Chronosis doesn't have any suits left, so Chronosis passes. So now it's back to me, and I could take a free action here and force this 1 engineer awake, but I don't know what I would do with them because I don't have any other actions for them to take. So I will pass as well, and that'll be it for the action phase of the first era. So I'll go ahead and do the cleanup phase now. So I'll retrieve all the suits and all the workers, put them in their correct places. It's not time for impact or end of game, so then I'll prepare the next era by revealing the next super project, refreshing the building stacks, including the variable anomaly, and then I will refresh the recruit and mining pools. So stick with me for a second, and I will see you in era 2. All right, and I'm nearly ready for Era 2 now, but I forgot to take this action, so I'm going to do that now. I need to spend 3 water, this is during the cleanup phase, and I can gain any 1 breakthrough. And I think I'm likely, I might use it there, but I might use it there. And you know what, a square would be good in either case. Let's set this to square and then roll this. And we've got microchip. That's what I needed. Great. Okay, here we go. So I've got that. I'm thinking I might want this super project that would allow me to, in theory, turn this 1 breakthrough into 2 breakthroughs. You know, this cost here, 2 neutronium and 3 titanium and a scientist, are much higher than the cost of just doing 2 breakthrough actions, I think. But also it's worth 8 victory points at the end. So I don't know. That's on the table. But I've already got a triangle here, and this is a different shape. So in theory, I could also place that breakthrough on my exosuit power-up board and get 1 more improved sensor. So anyway, looking at the new building stacks, this life support is pretty nice. Place any worker there and get 7 water. But I think I really want this lab because don't forget I need 3 labs in order to evacuate. And this one, you place an admin there, they come back motivated, you spend 2 water, and then you can gain either a scientist or an engineer. And I get points for having scientists too, so that could save me from having to power up suits and send admins or other workers out here to recruit scientists. I can just gain 1 scientist every era that way. So that gives me a little direction for this era. I probably also want to do an adventure. Let's take this marker back. I forgot that. But I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. It is time for the paradox phase, and I am the first player. So Chronosis and I both are tied for warp tiles on the first era, so we both need to roll. I will roll first. 2. Okay, 2 for me. And how many for Chronosis? 1. All right. At least I've got an extra spot there. And now it's the power-up phase, and I am going first. And I definitely want these 3. Like I said, I'd like to do an adventure, at least 1. I probably want to hit the mines, and I'd like to construct. So that's 3 actions. Let's go ahead and power up 1 more suit, and I'll spend an energy core for that. Now my 2 empty spots give me 2 more water. And now Chronosis needs to power up. They've got 3 suits already. Let's go to our bag. We know we've removed 1 exhausted energy core, and then we added a regular energy core. So we're going to be powering some stuff up, I suspect. What do we got? Regular energy core, or a powered one. Come on. A second powered one. And an exhausted one. So the exhausted one goes back in the bag. These 2 get discarded, and Chronosis gets 2 more suits. So bigger turn for Chronosis. Oof. Okay. And now it's the warp phase, and I am the first player. So if I place 1 warp token, I get nothing, except for the bonus from the token. If I place 2, though, I'm going to gain a paradox. So I don't want to do that. Now Chronosis, just as a reminder, ignores all the penalties. So I'm not going to hurt Chronosis by placing a warp tile out there. So I just need to figure out what do I want. It's probably a resource so I can build this lab. I've technically got these resources, but let's go ahead and grab a uranium. I think I'm going to want that. So I can even go ahead and place mine now. I'm going to take 1 uranium, and let's roll and see what Chronosis is going to do with warp tokens. 1. Okay, so they ignore the penalty. Here's my uranium and Chronosis's warp tile. Okay, and now it's time for the action rounds. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is force, oops, that's not my token, force all of my workers awake so the morale track goes down. But I don't have time to waste. I'm the first player, and I want to be able to do something other than just wake everybody up. So all of my workers are motivated now. Looks like I got 2 scientists, 2 engineers, 2 admins, and 1 genius. So that was my free action. What else do I want to do? And what is it that Chronosis is likely to do? I see the mines on 4, and try and build a super project on 3. They don't have any breakthroughs, so that'll be a failed action. 2 would be get a power plant, and 5 would be recruit. Although, you know what? They did that recruit action already, and I didn't advance the token. 5 would be breakthrough. So if they do 5 before 3, they could build a super project. Okay. And actually, you know what? This one might be more useful to me than this one. So I'm not really looking at building power plants yet. And I don't have any neutronium anyway. All right, so I think I'm going to go to the mines. I think that's what I've determined. I'm going to take an engineer, and I think I want to go here and grab a titanium and a neutronium. Okay, now Chronosis can go. 5. Ooh, breakthrough. So super project is going to be on the table. Let's roll both of these to determine what they get. All right, military triangle. Oh, sorry, it's not military, it's warfare. The warfare triangle breakthrough. All right, and now I can go. Oh, and again, I didn't advance that 5 token. Let's do that. All right, I should really take a build action then. I'm going to, again, use an engineer, and I'll go to the first construct spot, and I'm going to build this lab. So that's going to cost me 1 uranium, 1 titanium with the discount from the engineer, and then 1 water. So I gain this lab, goes right there. Okay, and now it's time for Chronosis. 4. They're going to the mines. So they're going to take this top spot and grab the uranium and the gold. And advance the 4 token back to me. And you know what? I'm going to take my genius and go to the mines so they will come back motivated. And I'm going to take this gold. And then, what else do I want? I think titanium is probably a good idea. All right, back to Chronosis. 4. So Chronosis is going to take another construct action and build a lab. This one is worth 4 victory points and this one is 2. So they're taking this one. And advance the 4 token. Okay, back to me. And I'm seeing there's a good chance that Chronosis will construct. They've got the 2 and the 5 here. That's also a construct with the 3. So that would give them, as it stands now, the first player spot. And I'm kind of okay with that, looking at the next era and the order that the warp tiles will be placed. So I think I'm going to let Chronosis have it. And I will send a scientist here, and they will spend another gold. And now my power level is up to 6. So back to Chronosis. 5. All right, they are going to construct and become the first player. So we trade banners, and they are constructing what again? Power plant. This one's worth 4 victory points, and this one is 2, so they're taking that one. That's a lot of points. And we advance the 5 token. All right, back to me. And you know what? I am going to place the scientist here, spend a water, and add this breakthrough tile right there and gain 2 victory points. So now my sensors are pretty upgraded. And back to Chronosis. 3. And there they go. They're constructing a super project. So they spend their breakthrough and gain the super project in the current or past era worth the most victory points. These are both 6. In the event of a tie, they take the further back one. So 6 victory points for Chronosis. And advance that 3 token. Okay, back to me now. I feel pretty comfortable doing this. I'll place an admin here, spend 2 water, and gain a scientist in the active column. Now Chronosis goes. There's a good chance they're going to... well, I don't know. We'll see. They may pass. 2. Yeah, another construct action. They don't have any suits, so Chronosis passes instead, and now I can continue. So I will put my admin here and gain 5 water. All right, lots of water. That's good. And now I can go again, and I will take my scientist and go on an adventure. So let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power, plus 2, 8 power. And I know I'm going to roll that d6, which is just 1 to 6, standard distribution. There it is. So I'll have a minimum of 9 power and as much as 14, from 9 to 14. And I get to draw 3 cards. So do I want to take from the plus 5 stack or the plus 10 stack? There's a really good chance that if I take from the plus 10 stack, well, I don't know. Let's stick with plus 5 for now. I'm going to spend 1 water. There's still plenty of arrows left to go to the plus 10 stack. So I draw 1 card, plus I have my 2 sensor upgrades, so 2 more cards. Now let's take a look at what we've got. This one requires 8, 9, and 9. So what did I say? 3, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to roll the die. So I will be able to achieve all of these no matter what. So what do I want? You know what? I think I want cargo ship wreckage. And you know, I haven't mentioned, but the adventure cards do some heavy lifting on like the storytelling side. They're pretty cool. So I'm going to put these 2 on the bottom of the stack in any order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I roll the die. Must meet or exceed 9. I rolled a 6. So that was a 14. That meets or exceeds this 9. So now I get these instant rewards, 1 of each standard resource plus 1 victory point. So a uranium, a gold, a titanium, and 1 more victory point will bring that to 5. There we go. And I've got an adventure card. So I'll put it there. Let's put it there. So I've got 1. I need at least 6 to get 1 victory point at the end. So I need to do a lot of adventuring. But I think I'm off to a decent start. I'm maybe in the next era I can start going to that 10 plus stack, and that would be fantastic because those rewards are great. But that's going to be it for me for this era. So now we go to the cleanup phase, and let's not forget this step. I'm going to spend 3 water to do a breakthrough action, and I think I'd actually like this one. So that's got the triangle with the time travel icon. So let's set the icon to time travel and roll the shape die. We got a circle. Okay, so if I do the super project, I can do any 1 circle and square, or I don't have a circle in my sensors yet. I could upgrade the sensors 1 more time. So I've got a couple options for that breakthrough tile, but now I'm going to complete the rest of the cleanup phase, do the preparation phase for Era 3, and I will see you there. Here we go. All right, and I'm set up for the paradox phase of Era 3. Looking at the new building stacks here, here's the Neutronide lab, which I need labs, but that one won't actually be of any use to me right now. And the new super project is the Exo Crawler, which lets you basically, as a free action, take main board action by putting a worker in a powered up exosuit and sending him to the main board. And then you can take, another action. So that's pretty nice. And then couple neutronium out here. I feel like I really need to get to the mines. And then I think I also really need to build a power plant because I'm starting to accumulate warp tokens out there and I have no way of paying them back. So we'll start by rolling for paradoxes. The first player is Chronosis. We're tied for Era 1 and Era 2, so they're going to roll twice. 1, 2. All right. So that's going to be all 3 for Chronosis. They gain an anomaly, and both of them will let Chronosis remove a warp tile, and this one is worth fewer negative victory points, so they will take this one and remove this warp tile here. And now I need to roll twice. 1 and 1. Okay, so I also gain an anomaly. And this one seems less devastating. So we put it as far left as we can. I'll put it here in the factory space. I can remove 1 warp tile. And of the 2, I think I'd rather remove that one. Okay. And that's negative 4 victory points if I don't remove it by the end of the game. So now it's the power-up phase. Chronosis is first, starting with 3 suits. We've got spent energy or exhausted energy core, powered up energy core. And come on, one more token. Another exhausted core. So one exhausted core goes back in the bag. The other 2 tokens are discarded, and Chronosis gains another suit. And now I get to power up. I think I definitely want to go to the mines twice, if I can pull that off. And I'd like to construct a power plant probably still. And I think I might like to do 2 adventures this time. So I'm going to spend 2 energy cores and gain 1 water. And now we go into the warp phase. And so I guess I've got a choice to make. I think I really want to make sure I get some neutronium. So I'm going to do 1 warp tile for neutronium. And let's see what Chronosis does. 2. Oh, that's great for me. That was perfect. So Chronosis places 2 warp tiles in these empty spaces. And then I place my 1 warp tile here where I gain a victory point. So victory point plus my neutronium. That worked out really well. And now we go to the action phase, so it's time for Chronosis to start. So we roll, see what Chronosis is going to do. That's a 4, so it's going to be an adventure action. So they're going to start by putting a suit here, and they're taking this +2 space, and they've got how much power? This is worth 2. 2 plus 2 by default, so 2, 4, 6. They're starting at 6. That is still less than 9, so they're going to draw 2 cards from this stack. 5 and 7. And now they roll 1. So it's going to be a total of 7 power. They do meet this criteria. So we're going to take this card. This one goes on the bottom of the stack. And they gain the rewards. So 2 victory points and 2 uranium. It's got 3 uranium now. And this will just go off to the side. And then Chronosis will try and add some power, and it has the most uranium, and there's an empty slot for it. So they're going to place a uranium there. So now their total power is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by default. And now we advance that token, and I get to go. And I'm going to send an engineer to the mines. I'm not wasting any time there. Grabbing a titanium and a neutronium. Fantastic. And now Chronosis again. 4 again. So they're going to construct a factory. And this is 1 victory point and 3 victory points. So they're taking this one. That's their second factory. Okay. And advance the 4 token. And I'm going to force wake everyone up first as a free action. And then I will take an engineer and I will send them here to take a construct action. I have to spend a water. And I'm going to build a power plant. So that's going to cost me a neutronium and 1 titanium, 1 gold, and 1 water. And now this one can go back 3 eras and is worth 2 victory points. This one goes back 2 eras, is worth 4 victory points, requires a scientist. But I think I want to use scientists anyway. I like the victory points. You know, my scientist will come back motivated, so that's not so bad. I don't know that I need to go back 3 eras. So I think that was probably a wise choice. Now we'll let Chronosis go. 3. So Chronosis will remove an anomaly by spending 1 of these extra uraniums and then a gold. So this anomaly is removed and it's out of the game, so I'll just set it face down right there. And now the 3 token goes back to here, and it's back to me. So I will now take a genius and go to the mines again, and this genius will then come back motivated. I'll go here and grab a uranium and another neutronium. Nice. Now we go back to Chronosis. Let's roll 5. So that's just 2 victory points, easy enough. Let's take these 3, replace them with a 5. Okay, advance the 5 token back to me. And I'm just trying to decide, would I like to adventure once and recruit once, or should I adventure twice? I think I'm going to bank on the adventures being really powerful. So I guess I'll do that. I'll plan on doing that twice. So with that being said, I will send a scientist here and add a uranium to get 3 more power, and then Chronosis can go again. 4. So that is gain an energy core. All right, so that goes in the bag. And we'll advance the 4 token back to me. And I think I'm going to adventure next just to see what the rewards might be. That gives me the most options with whatever I'm going to do after this. So I'm starting with 3, 6, 9 power, plus 1 here, so 10, and I'm going to roll the die, so I'll be at a minimum of 11 and a max of 16. I think I'm going to pay 2 water and do the 10 plus. So I draw 1 card plus 2 for these 2 sensors. So 1, 2, 3, what did I say? I'm at 9, 10 by default. Yeah, and then I'm going to roll. So this is 13, 16, and 12. These are all great. I think I'm going to take this one for 2 reasons. One, it's the easiest to achieve at 12, but 2, if I achieve it, I get to build a lab for free, and I need 3 labs to evacuate, so that'll save me a lot. And then even if I fail it, my morale track's going to go down, but then I gain a scientist, which I also need. So where am I? 3, 6, 9, 10, and then I need to roll. I need at least a 2. 6. All right, well, that'll do it. So I achieved this adventure, or I successfully adventured, and I get to build a lab for free. Oh, and you know what? Now would be a good time for this neutronium one, I think. Or neutronide, neutronide building. Let's take that, because that'll reveal what's under it. And then this one's still not bad if I can get it later, maybe. So we'll take that for free. And now I have 1 power plant, so I can take one of these, either construct, recruit, or breakthrough actions for free. And you know what? I'm going to take the breakthrough action. I'm going to leave this on the time travel symbol and roll this again and hope for a triangle. Circle again. Okay, well, I'll use it elsewhere. Okay, that was kind of neat. A lot going on. So now it's back to Chronosis. 4. So Chronosis is going to the mines. They're going to take the only thing they can, 1 gold and 1 uranium. And advance. And now it's back to me. Yeah, that was a dumb roll. I should have set it to, I guess, a square. I guess a square. That would have made sense. Because if I had the breakthroughs for it, I would send an admin here and get an engineer, send a scientist back to time travel, go back to here, pay back uranium, and then I'd be able to build this super project with that engineer. But that's kind of off the table now because I can't buy that super project one way or another. So I guess I will instead send a scientist here, spend 1 water, and add another breakthrough here. So I've got 1 of each shape now, and I gain 2 victory points. Back to Chronosis. 3. So Chronosis would like to build. They're going to go here, and they will remain first player, which is fine with me looking at that tile. And they are building a life support. And this is 3 victory points, and this is 2. So they're taking this one. And advance the token back to me. So I'll send my administrator here to get 5 water. And pass it back to Chronosis. 5. So they'd like to recruit, but they do not have an exosuit, so they're going to pass for this era. Remember what game I'm playing here. So I will send an admin here, spend 2 water, gain another scientist. And now I will take that scientist and go on an adventure here. So I've got, 3, 6, 9 power again. I won't get anything here. So I'm going to roll between 10 and 15. And I'm going to draw 4 cards this time. So do I spend 1 water, and draw 4 from there, or 2 water and go there? Now let's spend the 2 water and aim for a low power card. All right, so 9 is my starting power, and I draw 1 card, plus 3 more for my fully upgraded sensors. So this one is 10. Okay, that'd be good. 11, 14, and 12. Okay, none of these are... 14 is the most risky. So in order to be successful at any of these adventures, I would need to roll a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 5. And all that water is looking pretty good right now. Let's go for that one. Although I was tempted to go for this one, be able to build a life support. But I just wasn't that thrilled with either of the life support buildings that are available right now, because one of them gives you a lot of water, but it kills your worker. Don't love that. And the other requires gold, and I don't have a ton of gold or a way to produce any. So I need 11 power. I'm starting at 9. So I got to roll a 2 or higher. 6. Okay, that did it. So let's gain my 8 water and my 2 victory points, which will just be another 5-er. And set this to the side. I've got 3 successful adventures now after 3 eras. Let's see if I can keep that going. I'm glad I'm interacting with this module a lot. It's pretty fun. But now I am out of workers. Chronosis is already passed, so we're going into the cleanup phase, and I get this bonus again. So I will, in fact, spend 3 water to gain a breakthrough, and I am going to set the shape to a square and roll for the symbol. And I've got genetics. Okay. That will work. So now I'll do all the rest of the cleanup stuff and then the preparation stuff, and I will see you at the paradox phase of Era 4. Here we go. All right, so now I'm ready for the paradox phase of Era 4. I couldn't believe it. The next super project was uranium cores. Like pairing that with exocrawler is just outlandish. So that's pretty fun. But we're going to roll for paradoxes. We're tied for Era 2, and Chronosis has to roll for Era 3. So Chronosis is first player and is going to roll twice. We have a blank. That's unfortunate. Oh, and another blank. That stinks. All right, I need to roll once. And I get 1 paradox. Not too big a deal. Okay, and now we power up. Chronosis is first. We know they got another energy core last time, so they're powering up lots of suits. I'm down to my last core, but I've got plenty of resources, which I can also use. We've got an exhausted core, a powered core, and another powered core. So the exhausted goes back in the bag. Chronosis is going to be at 5 suits again this era. And now I power up. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, but I want to do at least 3 things. Probably 2 adventures if I can. But I know I'm going to need 1 more lab. And I'd like to pay back my uranium on the timeline, so I'm going to need to go to the mines. There's a couple scientists to recruit, and that is probably a decent idea. Let's do 2 more suits. I'll pay with 1 energy core. I don't really want to get rid of another standard resource. I guess I'm going to take one of these back, and I'll gain 2 water. Fine. So now we're in the warp phase. Chronosis is likely to put down 1 warp tile, and that would do nothing for Chronosis, but it'd be bad for me. And the next one would be a victory point, then there's a blank, and then a double. So I think I want to put down 2. So if I put down 2 warp tiles, I'm most likely to just get a victory point and then a blank spot. If Chronosis does 2, then I'll get the double. And if Chronosis does 0, I'll still get the victory point. That seems to be the right way to go on this one. So let's grab an admin and a scientist on the off chance that I get a double and can get 2 scientists. That would be really cool. So let's see what Chronosis is going to do. 2. Oh, amazing. Okay. So Chronosis ignores the penalty, and then for all bonuses, no matter what's printed there, they get 2 victory points. So that's what they're going to grab. And then I'm going to put the admin here. That's going to cost me a water. And the scientist gets doubled here. It's going to cost me 2 water. So 3 water in total. But now I've got 2 more scientists and an admin. Okay, that'll help with some of these admin-only actions. Give me a little more flexibility. So Chronosis is up first now for actions, and we need a roll. We've got a 3. So they're going to take a time travel action. They're going to remove 1 warp token from the tile with the most tokens. So that's going to be this one. Okay, and the time travel track goes up, and then we advance that 3 marker. Set this aside, and now it's back to me. And I'm going to start by sending this engineer to the mines to grab a titanium. I feel like I want to grab the neutronium, but honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, let's grab it. How do you not grab neutronium, right? Okay. Chronosis is next. 4. So Chronosis is going to build a lab. That's not my favorite. That was possibly something I was going to do. They're grabbing this lab because it's worth more points. That would have allowed me, when I take a breakthrough action, to spend a water to set both die. So basically choose any breakthrough you want. That would have been cool and helpful for me, but that's okay. And it looks like there's a very high likelihood 2/3 chance that Chronosis is going to adventure next, so I might want to beat them to it so I can grab that +2. But you know what? I'm going to send instead, I'm going to send a scientist here and add a titanium for 3 more power. I'll get more power that way. And if they roll a 2 or a 5, even better. 5, all right, that worked out. So Chronosis is going to recruit. Looks like they are taking a genius. And they gain 1 victory point. Advance the token back to me, and now I think I'm going to adventure. So I'll send my admin here, and now I'm starting with 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 12 power, +2, so I'm at 14, and I'm going to spend 2 water to do the 10 plus. And I grab 4 cards. Whoopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've destroyed the timeline. I hate when I do that. Ooh, we've got the 18 card. 11, 13, 15. The 18 card lets you build any super project or any 2 buildings for free, which is pretty cool. So how much power do I have? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. I have a 50-50 shot. I have to roll 4 or above, but the penalties are pretty steep. I don't have a power core to lose, but I would have to lose a worker and then just gain 2 victory points. That would be kind of a not super fun adventure. So it's definitely between this one and this one. The risk here is almost none. In fact, I've already achieved it. I can get that one for sure. And that's just a free action to gain a powered up suit. And that's like amazing. And you know what? I'm going to go with this one. Tough choice, but just looking at what I might build, I think I can get a super project anyway. I don't really need 2 buildings. I need 1 more lab. So the second one would be kind of superfluous. So now I roll. All right, 4. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh man, okay, so I could have gotten that one had I chosen it, but I achieved this, so this is a free action now. I'll set it right here, and I can put my player marker on it and get a powered up suit. That is super cool. Really like that. So, okay, that was a lot of thinking on that one, but back to Chronosis now. Let's roll. 4. So Chronosis is going adventuring as well. So I get 1 power here, plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power. That's still under 9, so they're going to grab 2 of these. This one is 8, and this one is also 8. So now we need to roll. What do we roll in? This one. So that's a 10, so they achieve one of these. So I'm just going to randomize it. I'm going to say this one is odds, this one is evens, roll again. So normally they would take the highest number that they've achieved, but obviously a tie. Oopsie. Well, it's an odd. All right, so they're taking this one. So this goes back to the deck. That is a cool one. Take the trade with the Nomads action as a free action. Obviously, Chronosis can't do that, but because it's a card with an ongoing effect, it's going to gain 3 victory points and a energy core. So we throw an energy core back in the bag, and then 3 victory points. There's 3 there, so let's just replace 2 with a 5. Okay. Now for step 2, it wants to add power to this board. There's no slot for the uranium, but it can take the gold, so it will place a gold there. Okay, and that was a 4, so now we advance that token, and it's back to me. So I think I will take my scientist now and do a little time traveling up to 2 eras back. 1, 2, and I will pay back that uranium. So I get my warp tile back, and that is a successful time travel, so I move 1 up on that track, and that's it for that action. So back to Chronosis. 5. Breakthrough action. So let's just roll both of these. We've got the military, what is it, warfare triangle. There we go. Advance the 5 token. Back to me again. And I'm going to have to send an admin here and get some water. Not my favorite thing to do, but there we go. 5 water. Back to Chronosis. 3. So adventuring again. Okay, so no extra power from there, but starting now with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's more than 9, so they're grabbing 2 out of this deck. 10, all right, that's going to be achieved, and 13. And now we roll. So 10 plus 6, that's 16, so they're grabbing this card. So this one goes back to the bottom of the deck, and they gain the rewards of this card. So first, they take a recruit action for free. So they're going to grab an admin, and I imagine they still get the victory point for that. And then grab a genius, not in love with that. And finally, 2 victory points. So, okay, good adventuring on you, Chronosis. And that was the 3 tokens, so that advances. And I will move my genius to here and spend 4 water to wake up all of my workers. So I get an admin, an engineer, and 4 scientists. Back to Chronosis, who will pass for sure. 5, that's a construct action, pass for Chronosis. So now I can keep going. Oh, and I have to advance that morale track. There we go. And I'm going to take an engineer, put them in a suit, and go here to construct. So it's going to cost me 1 water. And I'm going to construct this super project. So I'm going to spend my circle and my square, and that's going to cost a neutronium and 2 titanium instead of 3 because I've used an engineer, and 3 water. And now I place this as far left as possible somewhere. And I think I'll place it here. And Chronosis has passed, so now I can keep going. So I'll take a free action to time travel up to 3 eras back. Starting from here, I'll go back 1 era, and I'll pay back 1 neutronium and get this warp tile back as well. And my time travel track advances again. So now I've at least minimized my paradox rolls, and I still have another suit left. And I think I'm going to take a scientist, and I'm going to go to the water purifier and gain 4 water for sending a scientist. And now I'll send an admin here, spend 2 water to gain another scientist. There we go. And now let's take this free action to get a powered up exosuit. Almost forgot about that. And so let's send a scientist to the breakthrough area, spend 1 water and gain another breakthrough. And I don't know which one of these I might want to go for. They're all pretty good. 2 of them need squares, 2 of them need warfare. I really don't know what to set this thing to. But I guess I'll be starting in this area. Maybe we'll go for that. So we're going to set this to... well, we'll set it to warfare, and then this is a triangle, that's a square. If I get a circle, so be it. Square, okay. So that's not bad, because I probably want to time travel to this area to get rid of those warp tiles, and while I'm there, maybe I can pick up that super project. But all right, that was that action. I was thinking about maybe getting rid of my anomaly, but I don't think I'm going to do that yet. So now we're going to go to the cleanup phase, and I've got this one last action. I am going to spend my 3 water to gain another breakthrough. And this time I'm going to set it to circle to give me the option to maybe grab this super project instead. All right, I got the circle genetics. That's pretty good to have. And now I'll do the rest of the cleanup, and then we are going to have impact. So I will make sure that this top spot is always neutronium going forward. At the mines, I'll flip over the World Council space. I'll add all the collapsing capital tiles, and I will block off these 2 exosuit spaces along with all the other preparation phase stuff. So I will do that, and then I will see you in Era 5. Here we go. All right, so we are in Era 5, and things are wild. There's a lot of double actions on those collapsing capitals, so I'm curious to see how that pans out, but we need to roll 4 paradoxes first, and Chronosis is first player, so Chronosis needs to roll 1, 2, 3 times, because that's tied. So that's good for me. 3 rolls for Chronosis. There's a 2, and a 1, that's it. Doesn't need to roll anymore, that's 3, so Chronosis is getting an anomaly. Let's see, neither of these will allow Chronosis to remove a warp tile because they both require you to be before impact, and we are post-impact now. So this one is -3 victory points, this one's -2. Chronosis will take this one. And now it's my turn to roll. I just need to roll once, and I have no way to gain an anomaly. That's nice. All right, so 1. So I still have 2 empty spots. That's really good. Now we power up Chronosis' first. We're post-impact, so Chronosis starts with 2 and has a maximum of 4 suits. And we draw 3 tokens. So we've got Energy Core, Exhausted Energy Core, and a Powered Energy Core. So they are going to get 4 suits, which I don't love. There we go. And now I need to power up. I definitely want the free one. And I know I'm going to get one as a free action down here. And I don't think there's any way I'm going to evacuate this time. So I'm going to do 2 more suits. And I'm going to pay a uranium and a titanium for that. So I gain 1 water, which I suppose is better than no water. And now we go to the warp phase. And this is telling me I should probably only put down 1, but I think I'm going to put down 2 warp tiles. Well, you know what? I'll put down just 1. And I'll put down this one to gain another exosuit. A little bit risky, but that's what I'm doing. So let's see what Chronosis does for warp tiles. 1. All right. Well, that was probably best case scenario, and by probably I mean definitely that was the best case scenario. So I get a suit and a victory point. Okay, and Chronosis is going to start us off with actions. 3. So, oof, that's a doozy. So we're going to take this top spot. So that bonus is gone, and they're going to build a super project. So this breakthrough goes away, and this one is worth the most points. So that's what they're taking. That's all right. And then advance the token, and I get to go. And what do I need to do now? Chronosis is probably going to build again, and I would like to build, but that's really the one thing I'm not going to be able to do. So you know what? Let's do the most important thing first. Let's send a scientist here, and I can take 2 breakthrough actions, and I don't even really care what I get. Well, I guess I sort of care. I'm going to set 1 to a triangle and roll. All right, I got technology. So now I've at least got a complete set. And now the other one, I don't really care, I don't think. I don't know. We'll leave it on triangle. Let's roll it again. Just to have options. Time travel. Okay. So there we go. Now it is back to Chronosis. 2. So Chronosis is going to build a power plant. And these are both worth the same 1 victory point. So they're going to take the one from this stack. And even though this has a one-time remove warp tile action on it, I don't think Chronosis actually does that. I think they ignore all of the actions and bonuses on the buildings minus the anomaly. I think that's the only one where they actually get to remove a warp tile. So we're going to take this 2 token and advance it to here. So it looks like there's at least a chance now that Chronosis will go to the mines. So I think I want to go to the mines first. I'm going to send an engineer. And I'm going to grab uranium and a titanium. So those go there. Okay. Now Chronosis goes again. A 3. All right. So they're going to spend these 2 uranium to remove this anomaly. So I'll flip it face down. It's out of the game. And they reset their 3 token. So now I'll take a scientist, I think, and go to the mines again, and I'll take another titanium and another uranium. That's a good idea, I think. And we're back to Chronosis. This is going okay, actually. A 4. Okay, so Chronosis is going to build a factory. So they'll be first player again. I don't know why I took that one. They're both worth 2 victory points, so they'll take the one from the secondary stack. That is their 3rd factory. They won't build one of those again. Advance the token, and back to me. And I will send an admin here to gain 5 water. Okay, back to Chronosis. Let's see how this goes. A 4. So that is yet another power core into the bag. I feel like that's come up a lot. This comes down to here, and now it's back to me. And I'm going to have to take a free action, force everyone awake, or else I'm not going to be able to make this happen in time. I might be able to evacuate this era, and that would be pretty cool. Although I don't know what the rush is, the game's not going to end. I'll probably maximize my score better if I evacuate next era. But that's okay, we can at least prep for it. So I will take an engineer, put them in a suit, go here, spend 1 water, and I'm going to build my 3rd lab here. So that's going to cost 2 uranium, 1 titanium, 1 gold, and 2 water. And of those 2 labs, I would prefer this one. There we go. And now it's Chronosis 2. All right, so that's going to be a mining action. They're going to go here, necessarily take the gold, and then they'll grab the neutronium. This is working out okay. So now I'll take a free action here to gain a powered up suit right there. And I'm going to put an admin in this suit and take a recruit action on this tile so I can recruit twice. And I'm going to take a scientist and an engineer. So they both come back motivated. So the scientist gets me 2 water and the engineer gets me a power core. So back to Chronosis. This is going really well. 3. All right, Chronosis would like to build but has no more suits, so Chronosis passes for this era, and I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to put a scientist on this action here, which allows me, I don't have to pay anything else, right? Nope. And my scientist will come back motivated, but now I can remove a warp tile from the timeline, and let's remove this one so I don't have to pay that scientist back. And now I can keep going because Chronosis is done. I'll take a free time travel action up to 3 eras back. I'll just go back 1 era and pay back this administrator. And that is a successful time travel action. I really need to time travel 1 more time to make these points make any sense. And how many, I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 breakthroughs. How many scientists? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scientists. Okay, so if I get another breakthrough, I need 2 more scientists for scoring purposes. And I'm pretty confident I can make that happen. So let's put the genius here as an admin and spend 2 water to gain another scientist. It's quite the stack. And I wish I had 1 more water because I want to do this action, but I would also like to do this. But I can always do this later. I just have to hope I don't roll a 2 because I'm going to have 1 time I need to roll. So I guess I'm going to take my chances there. So I am passing for Era 5 now. So we're going to go to Era 6. During the cleanup phase, I will flip over those collapsing capital tiles, and we're not quite done yet. There's going to be another era, but I suspect it'll be the last one. So let me do this this cleanup phase. Oh, cleanup phase. Let me do this. Spend my 3 water, get 1 more breakthrough tile. And I think I'm going to set this to circle and roll. Right? Circle? Yeah, that's fine. All right, I got the warfare circle. Okay, so now I will clean up and do preparation and see you in Era 6. Here we go. All right, so I am ready now for Era 6. We are starting with paradoxes, and Chronosis is first player and needs to roll 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So not looking great for Chronosis. 1 paradox, 2 paradoxes, a blank, and 3 paradoxes. So that's an anomaly for Chronosis, and only this one will let Chronosis remove a warp tile from the timeline. And it's -4 victory points. The other one was -3, so good for me. They're going to remove it from the era where they have the most warp tiles, so that wouldn't actually save them any paradox rolls in the future, even better for me. And now I just need to roll once because we're tied. So as long as I don't roll a 2, I won't have an anomaly. Okay, 1. Perfect. This is all going to work out. Okay, so now we power up. Chronosis is first, has 2 suits, can have a maximum of 4, draws 3 tokens. It feels like there's, I guess there's just 3 in here. Are there 3 or are there 4? I don't know. Well, I drew 3. I've got 3 exhausted cores. Oh, there was another in there. Wow. Okay, cool. So 1 of these goes back, 2 go away. No more suits for Chronosis, even better. And now I power up, and I'm going to power up as much as I can. 1 suit for free, 1 energy core, and 1 titanium for 2 more spots. There we go. And I gain 1 water. And now we go to the warp phase, and Chronosis is going to go first. They'll get a victory point almost for sure. if they roll a blank and I do 2, I could get 2 victory points. But if they roll a 2 and I do 2, I'll get no victory points and I'll get an anomaly, and that'd be really bad. So I got to guarantee I don't get that anomaly. I'm only going to do 1 warp tile. And I'll do a scientist because I have this water, and I know I can pay that one back at the end when we untangle the continuum. That won't be a problem. So that'll save me an action as well. So let's see what Chronosis is going to do for warp tiles. 1. All right. So Chronosis gets 2 victory points. I get 1. And I have to spend my water to get my scientist. All right, so now it's time for actions. Chronosis is first player. Let's see what happens. 3. That is a build action, so they're going straight to this spot. They'll be first player again and building. Looks like this life support here, which is worth 2 victory points. That's their third and final life support. Advance there. And I'm going to start by forcing everyone awake. So we get a couple admins here, another engineer, a couple more scientists, and I will send a scientist to this breakthrough action here, and I could set both die, but I don't really need to. I'm just going to set a square and roll it. Oh, and it says question mark, so I could pick. Let's roll it again. All right, genetics. There we go. So I got a couple complete sets there. That's really nice. And Chronosis goes now. 4. So Chronosis goes to the mines, and they are, going to go here, take the uranium and the titanium, and that's enough to clear this and get 5 victory points. Probably a good move for Chronosis. Advance this token, but I've got a lot more moves now. So before I forget, I'll take this free action, get another powered up suit, just a little visually more simple for me to do my planning now, because I expect Chronosis will probably pass. So for now, I'll just send an admin here to get my 5 water. Okay, and Chronosis can go now. Let's roll 2. They'd like to go to the mines. They don't have any suits, so Chronosis passes. So I am free to do what I want for the rest of the era. Well, I guess I'll start by sending an engineer here and paying 1 neutronium and 1 water and removing this anomaly. There we go. That's out of the game. And I guess I'll take this admin and send them to this last recruit spot to make sure we finish the game. And I gain the bonus an extra time. And I'll recruit this genius, and I'll just grab 2 victory points. There we go. And now, it's as good a time as any. I'll take a scientist, and I will evacuate. There we go. So I need to have 3 labs to evacuate, and I do, so that's 6 victory points. And then I get 4 VP for every 2 scientists and breakthrough. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 breakthroughs. I believe I have 10 scientists. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to drop them. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I've got 8 in that stack. And then 9 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breakthroughs and 10 scientists. That's going to be 20 victory points plus the 6. So we need 26. Let's just take back these 4 and do 30. That was very nice. Okay. Now I've only got this 1 suit left, and I really want to adventure again, but I also kind of want to pay back that suit to make this go from 4 to 8. I'm hoping if I adventure, it gives me some way to either get another suit or, advance my time travel track or something. So I'm going to adventure for my next action. I'll use a scientist. Whoopsie daisy. And go here. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12 power, 13, 14. And I'm drawing 4 cards. I'm spending 2 water for the 10 plus deck. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Are any of those going to maybe get me a suit or something? Doesn't look like it. Would any of this stuff be helpful? I don't really need water and trading with the nomads. I don't need more resources. That won't help me do anything. A factory or a power plant and remove an anomaly. I don't have an anomaly to remove, but I have, let's see, one, two, the 2 power plants are each worth 1 victory point. The 2 factories are each worth 2 victory points, and I have a space for a factory. So if I can build a factory for free, that would get me 2 victory points. So that's something. But, I would have gained 4 victory points by advancing that track. So that didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. But we'll take these 3 back. We'll aim for this free factory. You know what else stinks is I'm going to be 1 adventure short of that criteria too. But I'm out of suit, so what are you going to do? All right, so I've got to roll this thing. 2. What am I at? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's more than enough. So adventure successful. I can build a factory, and neither of them will actually allow me to do anything. So I guess I'll grab that one just to place it. And since I have no more suits, I will send a scientist here to remove this warp tile from the timeline. It's not a time travel action, but it'll save me some victory points. And I think that's all I'm going to do. Yeah, so that is going to be the end because all of the tiles have collapsed. So we're not going to the next era. So now we can move into scoring. So I've got my Voidfall scoring dials here. I will be yellow for the path of progress, and pink here can be for Chronosis. And let's start with Chronosis. So I'll start with victory points. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26. 26. Time travel track is 2 points there. That's up to 28. And what else have we got? Let's see, no breakthroughs. So we've got to start adding up the buildings. Super projects are 6 and 8. Factory, what are these? Power plants are 4 and 1. Factories are 1, 3, and 2. Life support 2, 3, 2. Labs are 4 and 2, and then a -4 anomaly. So let's add those up. That's so 6 and 8. That's 14. 32, 42, and then another 5. So that's 47. Another 6, that's going to be 53. And then, how much is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is going to be 60. Another 6, 66. -4, 62. And I think that's it, right? Time travel track, victory points, and buildings and super projects. There are no breakthrough tiles, so no points there. Yeah, I think that's it. So, no penalties for all these warp tiles out there for Chronosis. So I do need to pay back that scientist from this pile here. So I don't pay a penalty for that, but it's not a time travel. So let's see, my time travel track is at 4. 8 would have been better. What else have we got? Morale track is at -6. All right, so I'm down to -2. And where else should I go? Let's do these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for each set, that's another 2. So this is worth 10 in total. So that gets me up to +8. All right. Now let's count up the victory points. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40. So that's 48. And now total up my buildings. Oh, this guy's dead. He gone. We've got 4 for that one. So that's 52. This row we've got 2 and 6. So that's going to be 60. This row is going to be another 2. This row's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Total of 69. Is there anything else that I've missed? Oh yeah, these up here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adventures, and I needed 6 to score. I've got 2 water, and I needed 8. And then I've got 6 breakthroughs. That gets me 2 victory points as well. So that gets me up to 71. And I believe that's going to be at 71 to 62. So a fairly close game. And it's kind of funny. The last game I played with the Doomsday module, I didn't feel like it was close, but I guess I felt like it was pretty close, but I ran away with it. This one, I felt like I was way ahead, but I didn't win by that much. 9 points, 71 to 62 is Not a heck of a lot, but that was pretty cool. I like this Pioneers of New Earth module. You know, it gave me something else to do with the breakthroughs, and I really focused on breakthroughs this time, so that was kind of cool. And once my suit was powered up, like it was a lot of fun to go there, and you know, when my sensors were powered too, it was great to just grab a bunch of cards and try and pick some rewards. I didn't fail any, so that was extra fun. But yeah, these were all really powerful and cool, so I'd play them again. And then, like I mentioned at some point, you know, the artwork and the title of each one does a lot of heavy lifting for the world building of this game. So if that's something you would like a little more of, just thematically, this is a really good expansion to add in. So this is a continuation of my season of Anachrony, where I play through each of the modules on the solo mode. So if you'd like to see some of the others, you can check them out. I've got an Anachrony playlist that I'll put at the end of this video. And if you're enjoying these, make sure you subscribe and leave a like. In a couple weeks, I intend to do the last module from the classic expansion. So that's Guardians of the Council. That one is really cool as well. And then after that, I'll move into the Future Imperfect box, and I'll close it up with the Fractures of Time. So a few more weeks worth of Anachrony content that you can look forward to over the next couple months. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've got any questions or if you noticed any errors. All that stuff is good. And then go get your copy of Anachrony and open it up and play it, because that's what it's for. I love it every time somebody says that watching my videos has gotten them to open up one of their games and go play it. That's great. So YouTube is cool, but don't forget to have fun yourself. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching Table for One. I do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. I know I did. And I will see you in the next video. Take it easy. Have a great week.